Brent tied this hopper pattern many years ago, and to this day still remains his favorite. Hopper fishing is a lot of fun, and you want this good imitation. This fly lands right every time and sits well in the water. The rubber legs created the kicking movement of a struggling grasshopper.
Well, good day and welcome to another segment on the bench. Today I'm going to tie you up my hopper, Brent's hopper. This has been around for a long time, and I still, there's a lot of good patterns always being developed, and I always keep changing stuff and building new ones and whatever. But this is a pattern I've been fishing a long time, and it's really been good, and I just really not a whole lot to fix on it in my opinion. We're going to start here with the larvae lace foam. This is the large, it's real nice soft foam. If you don't use a regular hard closed cell, this is kind of an open cell foam. Cut it in a small little piece like so. We've got a 1280 Daiichi. It's a dry fly hook, size 6. Pull that out. Then we're just going to pierce the foam and run that through the back of the hook for starters. Now, a lot of times when we're tying with foam flies, I notice a lot of everybody's tying the foam from the top down, and then they have this empty space so you can see the hook kind of exposed on the bottom. I like doing it this way, and you may like it as well. It's good. It looks more natural. I want to get that hook exposed a little bit at the back so I can get my 6/10 thread. I want to take that around to the bend here. Right at the bend. Now I'm going to take the foam from the bottom side up. Get a couple good 3 turns on that, and then I'll pull it up. Make sure it's not caught on the hook. Then I'll just come over the top, take a couple turns in here for my next segment. And I'll do the same. And I'll bring it forward again to my next segment. I'll just keep working that body, making my 3 turns or so, and get pressure to the top. Then I come forward and always pull up. And that's the way nothing will roll around on you. You'll see the spaces on the top. It barely, you can't see it there either, but I'll just give it another little one up front here just for giggles. We're going to be covering that, most of that up. But that fly ride's really nice in the water. I'm just going to just kind of taper the tips down here at the back for the body. Sits real good. This fly fishes well. It sits in the water right where I want it. Kicks along. It's a happy little hopper pattern. Okay, so now if you want, now this is like a yellow foam. You can use white as well. And a lot of times what I'll do is just want to add a little coloration to it because hoppers aren't always bright yellow. Maybe you want to give a little accent. You can just take a marker pen and darken it up a little bit. Whatever color your hoppers are, you can go with that, or sometimes even a green marker, will work quite well too. You can give it whatever colorations you want. And you can use a little both. Kind of gives you a nice natural color of a hopper. Now under the wing, I'm going to be using just some red crystal flash here. Under the hopper legs, you're going to see have kind of a red kickers on them underneath. And we'll come in, that'll be just fine the way it is. Okay, now the next, we'll bring in some turkey quill. And what I do, like a lot of times these turkey quills, when you start cutting into them, taking their segments out, they'll fray and splinter on you real bad. So what I usually do is I grab this Artist Fix-A-Tip spray, and you can find that in a craft shop, and just spray the front and the back of your feathers. It doesn't change any of the coloration at all, but it holds them together, and they're very, very durable when you do that. So I'm going to get a nice big wide segment off the side of my turkey quill. I'm just going to fold that for my legs. And that's going to be tied on the front. And we'll want to get our legs trimmed at an angle. I come over the top, get a soft turn or two in there, and then really bind that down. You see one of these, this is a little bit too wide anyway. I don't want that. I took a little bit too much segment off, but that'll give you the kind of look of the legs and the kicker. Okay. Now I want to get a good base going here. We wrap this down nice and snug in the front. Okay, then we'll come in with deer hair. Some nice even tips on it. Nice and fine. Grab our hair stacker. So I'll clip off a generous piece of that, grab it by the tips. Grab my bone comb here. Gets rid of all the under fur. That's what stacks. Clean that all up. Put that in my stacker. Gotta give that a good tapping on the hard table there so we get the tips lined up good. See, there was some junk in the bottom there. I didn't check my stacker before I went to do that, so that's another. Make sure you clean that bottom of that stacker out. Now we'll bring in our deer hair again. So those are little tips I'm showing you that you're going to run across. A lot of you know this, but some of you might not. So then they come out nice and even. You can see the little black tips are just perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to bring it in this hand here. Got quite a clump. I'll bring in an extra scissor. I'm going to cut it off with the other hand here, right? Cut these butts off nice and even. Now I'll bring them in from the side, and I'm coming at a 90 degree, and I'm just gathering up the butts with my thread, just barely getting the butts tied in. I'm taking 3 turns, and then they should spin and catch. And that's, you just got the butts tied down. You see the barely showing in there. Get some good wraps on this. Now I'll come into the rear here of the head. My hopper, I've got quite a bit of space there. And you get these little bullet head tools. There's a set of 3, I think, in a package. It's about the medium size. And that just fits right over the front of your fly, the eye. Gets a nice even amount of pressure on there. And just wrap it down. And that builds you a nice bullet head. See any of the odd fibers, you'll see the odd one that'll not want to behave, so you just trim that out. Go on the bottom, I trim them out. And there's your deer head, bullet head hopper right there. And that helps a lot of the flotation, gives you the nice head, in pretty good shape. Come in here with couple legs, zebra legs. We'll just tie them right on top. Pull one over to the side here, one over to the other side over there. To my whip finish tool. Make sure we don't get anything tied down. Pull it up. Put some head cement on that. Oh, that happens. Sometimes that one, see this one was really nice and tight. There's another good point. Don't run across it very often, but sometimes that rubber gets a little old on you. I had a guy give me some of that. I think that's color that Dave gave me. And I like to store all my materials in plastic boxes. This helps. I don't say they really dry out. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but we want to make sure If it's going to break, I'd rather have it break right there in my vise. That's okay. And then we'll just tie a couple new ones in, make sure they're secured in well. Go again. I'll nip these off. Front, rear. Those little kickers really move really nice when so when I cast that up, I plop it down in the water pretty hard. I drive that down in the water so that hopper lands, makes a pretty good splash, if you will. And then these little kicker legs, they move really long. You twitch it. Make sure you're twitching this fly, and it is one that's taken a lot of really good trout for me. And I'll tell you, hopper fishing is about as much fun as you can have dry fly fishing, in my opinion. I just can't wait for hopper season every year. So there it is, Brent's hopper. I hope you enjoyed that video, and hope you get some tied up, get some on the water, because you'll have some great experiences with me and with this fly. And make sure you send some pictures of big trout. I'd like to hear from you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you again real soon.
Thanks for watching Brent's Fly Fishing Instructional Series. He can be found on Brent's YouTube channel and Sport Fishing on the Fly.